There's nothing sweeter, if you ask me, than syrup made from the old birch tree.
FORAGY with PDB.
That's me. It's early spring here in Ireland, and the trees are pulling up water from the ground to help them make their leaves. This is the perfect time to tap these birch trees and extract some of that delicious liquid. Here's what we need: a container of some kind, a fine mesh cloth to use as a filter, a rubber band, a drill, a small tube, some string, and a bit of beeswax. Before we head out into the woods, we can prepare our container by taking off the lid and securing the filter cloth over the top with the rubber band. I find it's best to leave some slack in the cloth. Once you find a nice birch tree, you can grab your drill and start drilling into the tree at a slightly upward angle. You're going to keep drilling until you start to see some sap dripping out of the tree. Then it's time to pull out the drill and grab your small tube. The tube will then be inserted into the hole you've drilled so that the sap gets funneled through the tube and drips out the end. Then it's time to grab your container and use the string to tie the container around the tree just underneath the tube so that the sap drips right into it. The filter cloth is going to keep out any bugs or other bits falling through the forest. And now, we just leave this to do its thing, and we'll come back and check on it after a day or two. The next day this container is about half full, and I want to take it home. So I grab my beeswax, and I make a little plug out of the beeswax. Then I pull out the tube and plug up the hole so that the tree doesn't just keep bleeding. Then we take off the filter cloth and replace the lid. Then you can untie your container and you're ready to go. But before you leave, you might take a moment to say thank you. Now I've got plans for this sap back at home, but first I'm going to have myself a few sips of this most incredible birch water. So now let's make some birch syrup, just like they do for maple syrup. Essentially, we're just going to boil down this birch water until all that's left is a heavenly sweet syrup. Just make sure not to boil too far, otherwise it'll dry up.